Purpose.
Hello, welcome to Youth of Purpose, a show that is here to give you a platform majorly as young people to be able to put a brick in making sure that Uganda becomes better. But also, we look at how we can be able to transform our lives as young people through contributing and engaging in conversations that are of our concern. Everything under the sun concerning the young people, looking at the 77% of this population. We therefore give you a platform to talk about everything that will make us as young people be heard and actually provide solutions to some of the challenges that we do face as a country. My name is Ivan Tumukunde. Welcome to the show. Today we continue with our conversation on sustainable energy use in Uganda. And as we understand today, more Ugandans are getting to appreciate and actually find clean cooking energy or modern energy that is used for cooking more viable for them. And today we want to be able to look at some of those clean energies that we can be able to embrace as Ugandans in order to, one, be able to keep ourselves healthy by protecting the environment, but also find convenience, save on the money that actually use to cook. Eating is something that we do on a daily basis. And for you to be able to eat, you have to cook. And therefore, if we can be able to find one or two ways in how we can do it the best, we should. And today with me, I have a panel that is going to be helping us to delve into that discussion. Very enthusiastic young people that are focusing on helping us as Ugandans appreciate that. I have Tony with me. Tony, you're welcome to Youth of Purpose.
Thank you very much, Ivan. Yeah.
And I have Sarah, you're welcome to Youth of Purpose.
Thank you so much, Ivan.
Kindly say hello to the viewer and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Sarah Didier from Uganda Nationalized and Clean Cooking, that is commonly known as UNAC. The Alliance is a membership-based organization with over 300 members who have registered to the Alliance, and it aims at bringing both the public and private sector together to promote clean cooking technologies. And among the technologies we are promoting, we are encouraging or promoting the use of cooking with electricity, cooking with briquettes, cooking with biogas, cooking with solar, cooking with ethanol, LPG, among other improved technologies. So UNAC is an alliance that does a lot of activities, and one of its mandates is to create awareness about these clean cooking technologies, because we are sure that most of the people do not know about them. We do networking and information sharing with the knowledge as per the clean cooking technologies, but also lobbying for policy and standards to promote quality for these technologies.
So, Sarah, when we talk about modern cooking methods, or when we talk about clean cooking, what are we talking about?
When we talk about clean cooking, this is the use of sustainable fuels and modern cooking technologies that are used for cooking, but also do not have or have less impact on the climate, and also not harmful to the human health. So when we talk about these technologies, specifically we mean moving away from the traditional or conventional forms of cooking, whereby we grew up knowing that our grannies, even most of us, are still using charcoal and firewood. That's the traditional way of cooking. But we want people to move away from that and then adopt to cooking with the modern technologies, such as cooking with electricity, cooking with gas, and maybe solar, which are highly advanced technologies for cooking.
Tony, when we talk about cooking, what are some of the commonly used, energies for cooking here in Uganda?
When we talk
and
about,
if you can be able to group them in the traditional ones, or the ones we can call unclean today, and those ones that are modern.
When we talk about the different forms of cooking, we could begin with the conventional ones, the normal ones, the firewood using the 3-stone stoves. We could say there's charcoal using the ordinary stove. Those are the really, really unconventional ones. Then there's a bit modernized ones, firewood using the eco stoves, use less of firewood. Then there's briquettes using these new saving stoves, the energy saving stoves. Then we have ethanol, we have solar, biogas, then we have EPCs, and then we have old cookers for e-cooking is not new. We have these our traditional cookers, the ones that were for the rich. Yeah.
Good. So, coming to you, Sarah, what is the problem? Why are we preaching now modern cooking energies or clean cooking today? Why do we have to move away from the traditional cooking methods? Someone will say, me, I want to cook my matoke, etoke nga balizizaako obanga libobezeeko. So, what are you talking about? Why do people need today to move away from the traditional cooking methods?
Thank you so much, Ivan. Actually, to begin exactly with what we talked about, the talking about is it?
Yeah.
People have got wrong perceptions that when you cook with electricity, your toke or your banana, your matoke cannot be steamed, if that is the right word. So as you know, we are trying to address some of the wrong perceptions that people have, that you cannot actually cook most of the dishes. People are not aware. That's why we still have around 85 to 90% of the population in Uganda still using the traditional forms of cooking. Why? Because people are not aware that even cooking with electricity or cooking with a pressure cooker or an air fryer actually can bring out the same thing that you wanted. So we want people to move away from traditional ways of cooking by creating massive awareness through behavior change campaigns to show people, and we always do this live. We always demonstrate and we cook with electricity, with an electric pressure cooker, and we show to people that you can prevent or stop all the bad or the negative effects of traditional forms of cooking, which come with a lot, by the way, because they come with, of course, climate change issues are coming because of cutting down of the trees, so high rates of deforestation. Why? Because of chuck and fire for cooking. Why? Because people think that is the only way of cooking matoke, if I can bring out exactly the type of the dish you brought out. But we are trying to inform people that you can cook all the dishes with the modern way. You steam your matoke, you can mingle your posho, you can cook molokonyi, and moreover, at a less cost. So cooking with electricity, first of all, it is very safe. The second thing, it is highly efficient, that we shall be reducing on the impact of climate change and the related issues. But also the most important thing is that it saves a lot of time and it is very convenient. So someone saves almost 80% of all those related aspects while using electricity with a pressure cooker for cooking in this case.
So what are some of those modern cooking energies that we can be able to use as Ugandans?
As Ugandans, actually they're already in existence, but just because I talked about lack of awareness, which are trying to kind of spearhead, as you know, but we have got one of now the most trending technologies, the cooking with electricity. And of recent, because of the various exhibitions we've done in Kampala, we are planning a lot of exhibitions across the Uganda. We are trying to show to people cooking with electricity using a pressure cooker.
Yes.
So we have an electric pressure cooker. We have cooking with the solar. Yes, we have solar cookers which are also very advanced, and they do the same results with an EPC for those areas where there is no electricity. Because yes, we are promoting cooking with electricity, but it's only Kampala, around Kampala, where at least 70% of the people are connected to the grid, that is electricity. But most of the rural areas, really, the connection has been at 19%, so it is a low rate. So for those cases where someone does not have electricity, we are advising that person to cook with solar. We install solar. We have companies in UNAC that are really certified, and they are good companies, recognized for installing solar cooking or cookers.
Yes.
But also you have biogas. Because you see that in most of the rural areas have got a lot of agricultural wastes, and also they have cows. And we have benefits of that kind of activity. One, there is fertilizer from the bioslurry, but also we have got cooking with biogas from the same technology. So that is also another technology that we are promoting as a highly modern kind of technology. Yeah. We also have cooking with LPG, that is gas. And I'm happy that most of the people have ever experienced use of gas, they've ever interfaced gas. Although some have a fear that is not safe, but we address those issues that once someone is trained on how to use the LPG, it is really a very good way of cooking with gas.
Okay, coming to you, Tony. I know you so much engage the young people. What are some of those clean cooking options that we can be able to encourage the young people to use? I'm looking at a young person who is at the university still using a Kachako stove and many other options that might actually be even expensive. So someone who is in their hostel, someone who is in their apartment, what are some of those options, and actually what advantages do they come with comparing? I know recently you did a survey comparing all these cooking options.
Yeah.
So if you can also be able to bring out a few of the facts that you came up with in as far as comparing those options available.
A young person like us, I would advise so very much that they use LPG, which is liquid petroleum gas. If you look at companies like Total, West Gas, they're providing very cheap solutions, 3 kg at 29,000. And then there are people that are giving out EPCs also on loan, where you can pay 100,000 and then you complete that 150 in 3 months, 4 months. And you don't have to suffer with charcoal, which is I think around 100,000 now. And also there's problems like smoke, and then many hostels don't allow charcoal these days.
Yeah.
And it's really unsafe. And there's also these very small traditional hot plates. You could try that, though they're a bit expensive because they take so much electricity, but at least those ones are 50,000. One can afford.
Okay, thank you so much, Tony. We're going for a short break. We come back still discussing clean cooking, e-cooking. What are those modern energies that you can be able to use to ease your cooking, but also save that extra coin to make sure that you can be able to enjoy your meals, but at the same time, you're not spending a lot in preparing it. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Youth of Purpose, a show for the young people. We are here to give you a platform to talk about everything under the sun concerning us. How do we make Uganda a better place in the few years to come? We say Uganda is because we are. Today we are talking e-cooking, the modern cooking technologies that we can be able to utilize in order to ease our cooking, keep healthy, but also protect the environment. And our focus now is on e-cooking, E standing for electricity. How do we utilize the electricity that we have, that we are blessed with as a country? You've heard that actually we are exporting some of our electricity to other countries. So we have extra power to use, but the consumption here at home is actually still low. But then it can solve a lot of problems. Instead of you cutting down trees for charcoal, for firewood, which bring about fuels that are actually not safe for you health-wise, we want to look at how we can be able to use the electricity in order to help you ease your cooking. Sarah, when we talk e-cooking, exactly for an ordinary Ugandan, what does it entail?
E-cooking, that is cooking with electricity. Therefore, any appliance that uses electricity for cooking is under e-cooking. However, like you said, for a Ugandan, the most suitable cooking device, so appliance that can really encourage every Ugandan to have, especially if you have got electricity at home, is the cooking with electric pressure cooker. It comes along with very many benefits, and one of it is that it cooks every dish, literally everything, and it fries. You can even fry before you cook your rice. You fry within it, because some people thought that when you buy a pressure cooker, you're going to have to fry from an external, probably saucepan, then you come and proceed with cooking with the pressure cooker. But the beauty with this EPC, you can fry each and everything. It fries senene, it fries those people who do maybe pork, fish, literally everything that you cook with the saucepan can do the same thing with what? The pressure cooker. But the beauty with the pressure cooker is because of its science and the mechanism designed, it uses too little electricity. Once this electricity builds up the pressure kind of is regulated within itself. And that's why you see that you use too little electricity. And when you calculate the cost of electricity used, is really too low that you cannot compare it with any other kind of technology, maybe charcoal that people grew up knowing. or gas actually. Maybe yes, even the study was carried out still.
And even other cooking.
And even other cooking.
E-cooking appliances.
Yes.
There are those that yes are electric, but then they consume
and then
a
they
lot
consume.
of power.
But now because it is a pressure cooker, what makes it to cook at a low cost is once the pressure builds. Do you know that, Ivan, when you're cooking rice is 12 minutes. Some EPCs put 15 minutes, but yes, most of others, maybe Electromaster, uses 12 minutes. But if power goes off when it has built pressure for only 7 minutes, yes, and power goes off, your rice can get ready. Why? Because of the sense of the pressure that is there. So the beauty with the pressure cooker, it takes too little time. For example, I can say rice is only 15 minutes. And as you're putting on rice, you're able to do other things at home. Molokonyi takes the longest dish. It takes around 1 hour, yes. But still, when you calculate the cost of Molokonyi, it will not be more than 800 shillings. But do you know how much you would use to buy charcoal to cook Molokonyi? It takes almost, if not half a day, it takes a lot of hours to cook Molokonyi. When it comes to matoke, cassava, sweet potato, 15 minutes. And with around 0.2 of units. Molokonyi 0.4 of units. Rice 0.23 of units. Beans 0.3. Literally, when you calculate those in shillings, it is 300. The 0.3 is 300. Yes. But which charcoal can you buy of 300 to cook a meal at home? So for the research and with the experience that we are trying to also experience while cooking with electricity, a Ugandan takes not more than 1 unit to cook with electricity, and that is 1,000. The whole day. That means including cooking with breakfast, lunch and supper, 1 unit on Yaka meter can cook the whole day, your food. That is 1,000, but you cannot use charcoal for 1,000 to cook the whole day. Plus also the time wasted, and of course the indoor air pollution that is really dangerous to our human health, of getting respiratory diseases of asthma, pneumonia, etc. and all that. Yeah. So
Tony, focusing on the young people, because that's where my interest is, and the fact that the young people are 77% of the population, that means we do much of the eating, and therefore we influence the cooking. So if we can influence the safe cooking, the clean cooking, then we can save a lot for the environment here in Uganda. So one question that someone is going to ask is majorly about affordability, one of the EPC, but she's talked about the affordability in terms of cost. That's the power consumption. But for someone who is going to get an EPC, the challenge would be how expensive actually it is for one to be able to access it. But talk about the convenience, cleanliness that comes with it, the fact that someone can be at home, you have your work that you didn't complete from office, and you can be able to basically do your cooking as you're finishing up your work. A student who has courseworks to finish can be doing their courseworks. They are doing their discussions in the hostel as the EPC is doing the cooking. So talk about those conveniences and advantages that come with someone using an EPC.
Thank you very much, Ivan. And for one, when it comes to cost, again, EPCs are not that expensive. If you're to look at the market price, if you're to buy an EPC, they average about 200 to 300,000
yes, right
now. If you're to buy gas right now, new, the cylinder, it will still cost the same thing.
Yeah.
But you have to refill every single month. The EPC, you don't. 2, if you're to buy a traditional cooker with an oven, it would cost about 800, 700, 1 million. EPC, still from 200 to 400,000. You could cook, you could bake, you could actually bake cakes for the girls that like throwing parties, and you can bake, and all at your convenience. 3, an EPC would, first of all, it doesn't produce any smoke. Supposing you're at hostel, you're reading for a paper tomorrow, you close the EPC, it won't, you know that sound that pressure cookers make? You can actually close the sound and it doesn't come out. That pressure doesn't come out until you feel like you need to bring it out. You turn it and it will come out.
The issue of the
no, it's free.
The room heating up?
It won't heat up because the pressure is contained inside. So it's really safe. It's really, really convenient. And plus the cost, I don't think it's that much.
Yeah.
Look at, let's suppose you're buying a sigiri. A sigiri is about, a good sigiri is about 20,000. You're at hostel, so you can't buy charcoal of 1,000 every day. You'd have to buy a sack, which is 100,000. That is 120,000. Why not go get an EPC, maybe on loan if you don't have the money? Pay 100,000, get it, and pay 20,000 every month until you finish. No charcoal, no nada. When you pay hostel fees, you don't have to pay for the electricity, so you just have to buy a one-off. Yeah.
So we're looking at the long-term cost. You have something to add in?
Just to add on what he was saying, the usability. It is very easy to use and very good now for the youth because it comes with buttons along. When you want rice, it is very easy. You just tap on rice and you just go and proceed with reading your books and all that. And the menu is designed on the screen that it's a matter of getting a button and you just press, and any button is designed for its own pressure. So it is very easy to use for every person and now very good for the youth to use it.
Let's talk about the importance actually of clean cooking, e-cooking, but most especially the EPC to empowerment of women. Women do suffer a lot because of cooking. The smoke is the women. So you find a woman with tears, crying because of the smoke and all that, but also the time that they spend in the kitchen. Someone spends over, they have guests, it's a Sunday, they cannot be able to enjoy being in the living room and talk with the guests. You understand? So the inconvenience that comes with cooking to women, how does clean cooking, e-cooking empower the woman and help her actually to enjoy herself?
Thank you so much. Actually, that's a very good one. Because when you see, it's mostly girls and ladies who take much of their time, over 7 hours in cooking. And actually, all the disadvantages of cooking face the ladies. For example, inhaling in indoor air pollution, it comes to ladies. And when the population, around 23,000 die every year in Uganda. But majorly, this is coming to affect the ladies. When you go to the villages, ladies and women and girls walk for long distances to look for firewood and for in the name of coming to cook for the family. Yeah. And in this case, they face a lot of challenges, for example, rape, and all those kind of effects come along the ladies. So, an introduction of an electric pressure cooker is very important for the women, and hence empowerment of the women. Why? Because one, they'll have too much time now saved for other activities. Therefore, it comes along with improving the livelihoods of ladies. Instead of spending a lot of time using the traditional forms of cooking, someone just puts on the pressure cooker and goes to sell maybe some tomatoes, or maybe go to markets to have some other activities for her to earn the living. So these EPCs have come with a great effort in empowering the women, because now we have time to do other economic activities. We have time to socialize. Instead of being in the kitchen for so long, you're preparing food, now we can have time to have your visitors, because as you put it there, it will just signal to you that rice is ready by the 3 bells. Otherwise, you can continue cooking, no smoke, very convenient, but most importantly, having time or creating time to earn a living or to do a lot of economic activities for a woman to survive.
Tony, as we conclude, the advantage that comes with clean cooking, e-cooking to the environment.
Very good. Thank you, Ivan. Number one, the use of these are ordinary biofuels. Some of the fuels are very good. For instance, biogas. Biogas is good for cooking, but the chemicals produced are not very good for the environment. That means you have to add water again to the celery, and so not everyone knows that. You go give a biogas system to someone way deep in the village. Yeah. After getting the stuff out, maybe they're not even ready, they just dump in the environment. Those chemicals are not very good. Two, when it comes to the use of fuels, the fumes themselves, those destroy the ozone layer. Everyone knows the ozone layer. Still not very good. When it comes to EPC, it is smokeless. It is made for everyone, even those that don't know how to cook, by the way, Ivan. I mean, you rice.
Just cut everything you want, put in at once.
Whether you know how to cook or not, the rice will still come out good. Yes. it will come out very good. So women that don't know how to cook and men, you can use the EPC.
It saves majorly us the men.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Tony, in only 10 seconds, I will give to both of you. What's your call to action in terms of clean cooking?
My call to action, for example, generally clean cooking status in Uganda is at 15%, which is really still low, but the ministry has got ambitious plans for this, so that by, I think, 2025, we're expecting some at least to have 100% of clean cooking. At least someone should be having a pressure cooker and maybe an improved cook stove, ethanol, and also maybe gas and all that. So generally, much as it is still a low percentage, but there are a lot of strategies that are put in place to ensure that there is an increased adoption of clean cooking technologies in Uganda. But thank you so much, UBC, for inviting us here, because these are the kind of engagements that we want to always do, especially the media, because you're the people who have a big voice to the public. So the more you engage us in creating awareness, because like I said, most of the people are not aware of these technologies because of lack of awareness. So we are trying to do a lot of awareness creation to really sensitize people on the use of these technologies.
People lack the information to know the affordability of actually these technologies and all that.
EPC is very expensive. Electricity is expensive. It is very hard to use to just burst like this. It is not safe. So all those things.
Tony, your last remark.
Mine would be to the youth. Cheap things are expensive. Cheap things are very expensive. How? You want to use charcoal stoves and charcoal.
Because a charcoal stove is 14,000.
Because a charcoal stove is 14,000, you end up spending 300,000 a month. You want to use a charcoal stove and these ordinary stoves, 3,000 stoves, you end up falling sick. You get tuberculosis and some other different kinds of coughs. And then again, you pay bills of 500,000. Cheap things are very expensive. And things that seem to be expensive are actually not that expensive. Let's try to work hard and save the environment.
Thank you so much, Tony. Thank you, sir, for being a part of this discussion. And I'm certain the Ugandan out there has gotten informed and they have a different perspective in as far as e-cooking is concerned. I want to encourage you, protect yourselves, protect the environment, and also save that coin. You can be able to have that extra coin to do something else. Like he's told you, unclean cooking will bring about diseases you will spend on. But also in the long term, you're spending a lot on the cooking. So if you can be able to use e-cooking, and majorly like an EPC that I've used myself, like an air fryer that I've used myself, they do save a lot. If we talk about convenience, God, it's really, really amazing. Thank you so much for watching this show. I do believe Youth of Purpose is transforming this nation and continuing actually to impact the whole of Africa. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Ivan Tumkonde. See you next time.
Youth of Purpose.